Hey guys, it's New Year's Eve, so let me start out by wishing everyone a happy New Year's. I hope you guys have a great 2016. And so on the car, I had several comments, and one guy said, I've had actually several people say how patient I am. Thanks. I'm gonna say probably it's just flat ass stubbornness. I'm not a very patient person, and so yeah, but I am very driven to get, I just can't stop until it's right, and so we could probably classify that as OCD, or perfectionism, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's definitely not patience, because I don't sit with a smile on my face. Matter of fact, the other day when I was laughing, I was pretty frustrated. That's a frustrated laugh. So to get back on the car, to kind of show you what I'm talking about. So I wasn't real happy with the way the latch closed. I wanted it to close like just to smoothly fall in there. You got your hole, and so mine, it was coming in, and I know this looks sexual, but it's not. It was coming in and hitting right here and then pushing it. So it was still not in the center. So, I know, laugh, ha ha ha. So, yes, that's a 12-year-old that comes out in us. So, I thought, well, I'll just adjust it in. So, I tried to adjust it in as far as I could. No luck. So I reamed out the holes, slide it back as far as I could. No luck. I modified the bracket that it goes down into. No luck. So I started figuring out that it looked like it was possibly still off in the hinges a little bit. So I loosened all the hinges and started all back over, and I learned quite a bit. That's good about hinges, probably a lot I didn't know. And so but in the meantime, extremely frustrated, and I got to quit trying to make this a BMW. It's never going to be a BMW. It doesn't want to be a BMW. And so, yeah, I'm not saying I'm not trying to do my best, because obviously it's almost ridiculous. So let me show you what I got going on. So I ended up disassembling this latch to find out that this part here was actually hitting right here. Okay, it was just coming down and hitting that. Well, it just needed to move in probably 1/8 of an inch or so. So I moved, and I did all kinds of stuff. You can see where my lines are. I even shimmed this up at one point. Hated that. Didn't like the way it looked, having those shims back there. I know you can paint them black and make it, nobody ever noticed, but it just really wasn't working for me. So I went back to that, loosened all that stuff up, readjusted the hood, and I got it about where I wanted it. Actually, right now, it's where it's going to probably freaking stay. I say that because I said that last time, and then I freaking jacked around again. But I have a question. And I know those new springs are really stout. But usually on those springs, if I remember correctly, there's a breakover point where when that comes down, it's super tight right now, but then it hits a certain point and it breaks over. And literally, if you pulled the hood off, they would stay down. You hear a lot of people say, hey, you need to wire those down. They're going to pop up, or take the springs off or whatever, because it could hurt you or whatever. That's true. But there is a point where they stay down. Well, this hood, and I don't know if it's just, it flexes so bad. And I don't know if it's because it's an aftermarket hood. I don't know if maybe the original ones flex that much. But as I'm pulling it down, and those springs are so tight, you can see the back of it flexing up. It's really hard to pull this hood down. So I'm guessing maybe the springs are just super strong right now because they're brand new. Maybe they'll relax some. I'm sure they will. But it's taking some pressure, even still at this point, to get this to push down. Okay, so when I'm pushing this down, I don't know if you can see, the back of the hood flexes up pretty bad. And so I'm really scared of warping this hood because it's just so hard to push down. But once I get it, it never stops getting hard. Like I said, I thought there would be a point where it would just finally go, okay, I broke the breakover point and now I'm just gonna slide right down in there. It never does. So, okay, at this point, all that's in there that's latched is this hook. You got the little hook in there. Well, when I took this spring out of here, it goes in easier and it won't pop up as violently. With this spring in there, it really wants to make this thing, if you just pull on it, it's like bam. Well, I was reading that you really don't want that. It should just pop up pretty easily. And again, like I said, I know all this stuff's new, so maybe it's just really tight, tense, whatever. But so right here, even still coming into this, I've got this to where it'll fall in there pretty nicely. So that's really, really hard to push down. And you can see the back of the hood there is really flexing up. Okay? So now I push it in. I got it too freaking tight. I'm gonna have to lower that a little bit more. Let's see. Let me set you down. All right, so there's that deal that I was talking about. You can come in here with a screwdriver and adjust that back out a little bit. You got to undo this nut first, which I left it loose, but all right. And then yeah, you just come in and turn it back out a little bit. So now I'll run it down. All right, so there it's latched and it's tight. Don't get me wrong, that sucker is tight. So it's so tight, it's kicking ass into the hood up a bit. But I can come back here and push it down and get it where it needs to be. And I know a lot of guys are gonna go, okay, well you can, because I did this the other day, if you watch my video, you push the hood all the way up, it runs it all. Well, those are bottomed out. They're as far as they'll go. So there, that looks good. There's not sticking up. Everything's good. Everything's tight. This gap's good. The front gaps are okay, and that gap's good. So I mean, that's as good as I can get it. But I don't understand why it's so hard to get that thing to close down. Like, you know, I mean, other than maybe that spring, those springs are just so stinking strong. And that being an aftermarket hood, it's really wanting to flex it. Maybe they're not as heavy. I don't know. If you guys have any suggestions on that, let me know. But at this point, I'm finished with it. I'm finished with that. I've literally probably got some more gray hairs out of this deal. But this is probably the third day I've been messing with this hood, and I mean for hours. It's absolutely ridiculous. So that would also tell you that's why I had to build my own shop, because if I worked anywhere, I'd be fired. They'd have fired me straight off the bat. They'd be like, you're the slowest freaking dude we've ever seen in our lives. So that's also why I couldn't charge anyone by the hour, because it would cost them $1 billion for me to build their car. So anyway, I thought I'd ask your opinions on that. Maybe those springs will relax. It looks good now, but like I said, if you were just to reach down there and pull that latch, that hood would freaking spring up like there was a rocket underneath it. And that just seems wrong to me. It seems like it ought to close and lay there nicely. So maybe there's still some adjustment in that hood hinge that I'm not aware of. But man, I mean, I'm telling you, I spent hours moving it to every point, up and down, back and forth, everything I could to get it to where it would close tightly. And I know it's a freaking 40-some-year-old car, 48-year-old car, as a matter of fact. That's when I was born. But yeah, so anyway, I appreciate you guys' comments, and girls. I've got a couple of girls that watch. And so, yeah, I think I'm done with that for now. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next part. I keep saying I'm going to pop these holes for the last 3 or 4 days. I think I'm going to finally do it, so I'll probably do that next, and then we'll move on. So anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, have a happy new year, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. See ya. All right, well, I went ahead and put the lower valance panel back on, because when I had it on before, which was dumb, I didn't get it all lined up like it needed to be and tightened everything down and all that. And my inner fender well on this is giving me so much crap trying to get it lined up. I finally got it pretty close. I loosened everything up trying to move it, and got this fitting up pretty good. I don't know what happened here, but whatever. This line looks pretty good. This is kind of hokey. I'm gonna have to do something with that. This line looks pretty good. I've got this tightened together and it looks decent. This side looks like this is bent down. I mean, the whole thing looks like it's been, it even looks like somebody hammered on it right there, and I haven't even touched it, and there's a dent coming out, so I'm gonna have to try to maneuver that whole thing back in. This is way out, so I'm not sure if I need to come in with this whole thing, or I don't know. I'm just gonna tell you right now that it's been a rough 3 days on this car, and I think if the owner was to come by today and say, Roger, you know, I think I'd like to have somebody else finish this car, I would probably jump for joy. Yeah, it's been rough. It's really been testing what little patience I have. And so Daryl, if you're ready for someone else to do this car, come get it, buddy. I would be happy to let you have it back. And there's a hell of a lot done to it. So the next guy, all they would have to do is a little bit of tweaking and sanding, and man, you'd be good to go. But I've been on vacation for the last couple weeks or week and a half or so, and so I've been out here most days working on this, and I think it's taking its toll on me. That and not having any help, you know. A lot of times if you have help, you know, you can bounce ideas off other people, or they'll see something you don't see, or, you know. Yeah, the whole front end of this car is giving me absolute fits, or not fits, I guess you could say. So it's New Year's Eve. I'm going to go in and take a shower, and I'll probably upload this video. I'm gonna take my honey out for dinner and probably a movie, and I'm gonna forget all about this car for a while. So I don't know, maybe a few days before I come back out here, because I'm pretty frustrated right now with the whole setup. It's been quite the learning experience. So all right, guys. Well, you have a good New Year's, and I'll talk to you next time. See you. Hey, guys. So I came in the house after feeling sorry for myself and found that these little bad boys came in. Yeah, that's the I forgot what it's called. Whatever. That's the heel dolly, and they're made by Fairmount. They got handles on them, so cool. So like you can hold on to them or put them in a vise or whatever I was telling you about. I told you I was gonna get some of those. Well, I got them, there they are. So when I get out of my little funk over this whole car kicking my ass deal, I'll get back out there and play with these little bad boys and Maybe it'll cheer me up some. All right, see you guys.